Hey everybody. In Vedanta, we often talk about two paths towards realizing the divine. One is this path of affirmation, sort of taking everything and saying that all of this is indeed Brahman. Learning to see what is all pervading, what is perfect, what is self effulgent in all things. But this is usually considered a later path, and that we have to distinguish between what is changing, what is therefore not eternal, and looking for the eternal by removing all the things that hide it from us. And that's called the path of negation, or neti in Sanskrit. So this happens in all mystical traditions, and I wanted to give a good example of it from um, the Christian tradition. Pseudo-Dionysius was um, a mystic of the very early church of a strong Neoplatonic bent. And he often talks about sort of the affirmative theology of all the things that God is. And here he makes a distinction in his tract called the Mystical Theology by approaching the divine through denial, through negation. So I thought I'd read a bit of that today. So I pray, so this begins with how one should be united and attribute praises to the cause of all things, who is beyond all things. I pray we would come to this darkness so far above light. If only we lacked sight and knowledge so as to see, so as to know, unseeing and unknowing, that which lies beyond all vision and knowledge. For this would be really to see and to know, to praise the Transcendent One in a transcending way, namely through the denial of all beings. We would be like sculptors who set out to carve a statue. They remove every obstacle to the pure view of the hidden image, and simply by this act of clearing aside, they show up the beauty which is hidden. Now it seems to me that we should praise the denials quite differently than we do the assertions. When we made assertions, we began with the first things, moved down through intermediate terms until we reached the last things. But now, as we climb from the last things up to the most primary, we deny all things, so that we may unhiddenly know that unknowing, which itself is hidden from all those possessed of knowing amid all beings, so that we may see above being that darkness concealed from all the light among beings. The fact is that the more we take flight upward, the more our words are confined to the ideas we are capable of forming, so that now as we plunge into that darkness which is beyond intellect, we shall find ourselves not simply running short of words, but actually speechless and unknowing. In the earlier books, my argument traveled downward from the most exalted to the humblest categories, taking in on this downward path an ever-increasing number of ideas which multiplied with every stage of the descent. But my argument now rises from what is below up to the transcendent, and the more it climbs, the more language falters. And when it has passed up and beyond the ascent, it will turn silent completely, since it will finally be at one with him who is indescribable. Now you may wonder why it is that after starting out from the highest category when our method involved assertions, we begin now from the lowest category when it involves a denial. The reason is this. When we assert what is beyond every assertion, we must then proceed from what is most akin to it. And as we do so, we make the affirmation on which everything else depends. But when we deny that which is beyond every denial, we have to start by denying those qualities which differ most from the goal we hope to attain. Is it not closer to reality to say that God is life and goodness rather than that he is air or stone? Is it not more accurate to deny that drunkenness and rage can be attributed to him than to deny that we can apply to him the terms of speech and thought? So this is what we say. The cause of all is above all and is not inexistent, lifeless, speechless, mindless. It is not a material body, and hence has neither shape nor form, quality, quantity, or weight. It is not in any place, and can neither be seen nor be touched. It is neither perceived nor is it perceptible. It suffers neither disorder nor disturbance, and is overwhelmed by no earthly passion. It is not powerless, and subject to the disturbances caused by sense perception. It endures no deprivation of light. It passes through no change, decay, division, loss, no ebb and flow, nothing of which the senses may be aware. None of all this can either be identified with it nor attributed to it. Again, as we climb higher, we say this: it is not soul or mind, nor does it possess imagination, conviction, speech, or understanding. Nor is it speech per se, understanding per se. It cannot be spoken of, and it cannot be grasped by understanding. It is not number or order, greatness or smallness, equality or inequality, similarity or dissimilarity. It is not immovable, moving, or at rest. It has no power. It is not power, nor is it light. It does not live, nor is it life. It is not a substance, nor is it eternity or time. It cannot be grasped by the understanding, since it is neither knowledge nor truth. It is not kingship. It is not wisdom. It is neither one nor oneness, divinity nor goodness. Nor is it a spirit in the sense in which we can understand that term. It is not sonship or fatherhood, and it is nothing known to us or to any other being. It falls neither within the predicate of non-being nor of being. Existing beings do not know it as it actually is, and it does not know them as they are. There is no speaking of it, nor name, nor knowledge of it. Darkness and light, error and truth, it is none of these. It is beyond assertion and denial. We make assertions and denials of what is next to it, but never of it, for it is both beyond every assertion, being the perfect and the unique cause of all things, and by virtue of its preeminently simple and absolute nature, free of every limitation, beyond every limitation, it is also beyond every denial. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you on Saturday. Take care.